I hope you have done the exercise that I had mentioned in the previous slide. And now I want to touch base a little bit about inheritance. I'll not showcase too much of hands-on, or even I'll not ask you to do any hands-on on inheritance, but obviously it's good to know this particular concept because you can see in some Python codes that inheritance is getting used and it might be a little confusing. So what is inheritance? So let's say we have a class customer and this class has multiple methods like calculate payment, calculate discount, etc. Then we can inherit this particular class and create a new class, let's say privilege customer. And this is how we create the inherited class. The keyword is class followed by the class name, and in the bracket we mention the class that it has inherited from. And in this case, the class is customer. Now, the question is, what is the difference? The difference is that the customer class has calculate payment and calculate discount methods, or maybe some other variables, instance variables, class variables, etc. Maybe you want to use this and you want to do some modifications also. So if you inherit the class, the privilege class which has inherited the customer class, the calculate payment and calculate discount will be present in this class also. The reason is because it has inherited from customer class and it can have its own methods and its own variables also. Meaning, if a class inherits another class, in this case, privileged customer has inherited customer class. The customer class is the parent class and privileged customer is the child class. All the members of the parent class would be accessible to the child class. And those members can be methods and variables. And on top of it, the child class can have its own members also, meaning it can have its own method and its own variables. And that is what inheritance is. It is essentially used to inherit the properties of one class or members of one class into another class. So that is the purpose of inheritance. And as I already mentioned, there are two types of classes here. One is parent class and the other one is child class. Child class inherits from the parent class. So in this case, customer is the parent class and privileged customer is the child class. So it inherited from the parent class. Now a single class can inherit from multiple parents also. There can be multiple parents of one class. And of course, you can create multiple child class from the same parent class, meaning there can be another class which is inheriting customer class. And the properties are copied over. When I say properties, I mean the members of the class are copied over. And the child class can also have its own additional methods and variables, meaning the child class can have its own members. Let's show you a very small hands-on. I'll not go into too much of detail. First of all, I have changed the name. Instead of number 3, I have changed it to THRRE. So let me create a class and the name of the class would be vehicles. And I have a method, let's say vehicle type, which takes the engine cc, the dimension, ground clearance, etc. to find out whether it's an SUV or sedan or hatchback. So I'll not mention anything here. Let's say I define one more, the vehicle maintenance. What would be the vehicle maintenance? It also takes the same values like cc, dimension, ground clearance, engine cc rather. So to find out what would be the maintenance cost. So instead of pass, let me just print and I'll define a class variable. Let's say vehicle manufacturer is BMW. This is vehicle manufacturer is the class variable and the value is BMW. It can be anything else. Let me create a list actually. So, and these are the vehicle manufacturers that I'm going to calculate the vehicle type for and vehicle maintenance for. It can be either BMW, Mercedes or Audi. Now what I want to do is that I want to create a class that inherits this particular class. So what I do, I mention class and let's say Volkswagen, and it will inherit from vehicles class. So the moment I inherit from vehicle class, and let me define another method here. So I have created this class Volkswagen, which is inheriting from the vehicles class, and I have defined sister group method here, and it is also printing Volkswagen class and sister underscore group as the method. Now what will I do is that I will create a vehicle, let's say BMW underscore X1, and I'll initialize with Volkswagen class. So the name of the object is BMW underscore X1, and I have initialized, or this object actually is of type Volkswagen class. First, let me print type BMW underscore X1. So now if I execute this, BMW X1 should be an object of Volkswagen class. So if I execute, as you can see, the BMW underscore X1 is actually an object of Volkswagen class. So now I can actually use, if I type dot, as you can see, I have vehicle type, vehicle manufacturer, vehicle maintenance, and sister group. All the members are available to me. So I can use vehicle type, and no argument is needed, but because I have removed all the other arguments, I can also use vehicle maintenance. I can also use sister group, and finally I can use the variable in also, which is vehicle manufacturer. So this vehicle type method does not belong to Volkswagen class, it belongs to vehicle class, but I'm able to use it because Volkswagen class inherits the vehicles class. So that's why any object that is created using Volkswagen class will have access to the parent methods and parent variables also, meaning all the members of the parent class. So here, as you can see, all are accessible, and if I execute, it will show me you are in vehicle method, vehicle type method, vehicle maintenance method, and Volkswagen sister group method belonging to Volkswagen class. So this is what inheritance is, and it might be needed in mostly in very advanced coding, backend coding, but for data engineering it might not be needed. But I just wanted to give you a sense of what inheritance is, because you can see codes in data engineering also, maybe PySpark or something else. You'll see something like this. Volkswagen in a bracket, you'll see some other name. So let's say there's a class definition, and in the bracket there's some other name. So you should not get surprised, which it means that this class is inheriting from this other class.